if he was to read his email again and put, you know, interracial or Jewish or Muslim instead of same-sex in that email, and he still thinks it's okay, that maybe that there is an issue.
It's an email that one Toronto woman says is blatant discrimination. When her dream wedding photographer sent it to her, it became a nightmare, she says. Living in a city with the rainbow flags flying high and proud, she says for the first time in her life, she was made to feel shame for wanting to marry another woman.
I emailed him first before I'd even picked a venue or picked a date, just to make sure that maybe we could try and make this work.
The first thing Heather Sullivan wanted to book for her big day was her dream photographer, who she wanted to plan her wedding around.
Then I spoke with him on the phone, and when I mentioned that he had our date available and he was happy to do it, he said something about the groom, and I said, oh, actually it's another bride. Her name is Tana. And he's like, oh, okay, I'm not sure if I still have that date, but I'll get back to you.
Then came this, an email Heather says the photographer sent. It reads in part, although I am available for September 1st, 2018, I'm not sure that I would be the right photographer for you. Due to my beliefs, I have never shot a same-sex couple before and feel as though that would interfere with my ability to capture your day, as well as many other photographers would.
He was very polite and very honest, but when I read it through a few times, because I had to figure out what exactly he was saying to me, I realized that he wasn't doing our wedding because we're gay, and that was the only reason he had.
Heather says she hasn't responded to the email but has posted the exchange on the photographer's Facebook page. We spoke with him this afternoon. He did not get back to us about doing an interview, but says he did not deny his services to Heather. Instead, he recommended another photographer who he thought would be a better fit, something he's done before with other couples.
It looks like this photographer is linking it to his beliefs. And that is not something you can use or he can use in this case to justify his refusal. It's not an acceptable excuse under the law.
This human rights lawyer says discrimination cases can sometimes be challenging to prove.
Because for many people it is a feeling you get when you're interacting with either your employer or a service provider.
But Heather's scenario is rare, says Emily Shepard, in that there is a paper trail.
When I emailed another photographer, within my first paragraph, I actually said, we're a same-sex couple, is this an issue?
Heather and her soon-to-be wife continue to plan their wedding. Though still excited, she says she feels a responsibility to be vocal about this sour experience.
Even though we think we have great things like the Pride Parade and, you know, we fly our rainbow banners and everyone is very exciting and very inclusive, there's these little nuances of prejudice that are happening in everyday lives.
Heather and her fiance, who lives in Moncton, did not take the photographer's recommendations. Instead, they ended up finding their own photographer for their wedding, set to take place in a little over 1 year.